Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 60th episode of Mr. J's Geek Corner. Like we talk about anything and everything that is geek, whether it be TV, comics, movies, or video games. And as I mentioned, this is the 60th episode of Mr. J's Geek Corner. And I know I've put out a lot more shows than that, but I'm not including Geek Corner Minute or the Godzilla month or Superman month shows from last year amongst the 60 that I'm counting like regular subject by subject episodes. This is the 60th episode. This is the 60th episode of Mr. J's Geek Corner, and I thought I would do a little something. I thought, what would be the best subject for the 60th episode? And seeing that a couple weeks ago, Comic Con they announced something about they made an announcement about Godzilla 2 possibly having Rodan and Mothra and Ghidorah in it, and they're teasing that they're going to be in the movie. I thought I would break out. I thought I would break out a subject that I had left over from the Godzilla month episode, and I thought, well, this seems. When I was making stuff for Godzilla month, I thought, well, this seems like it'd be a special list all of its own. So I decided to just have it be a subject by itself, separate from Godzilla month. So, and it was actually just going to be a later show, but I figured, hey, this is the 60th episode. Why not have it be something cool? And with what in mind about Godzilla 2, I would love to what they said about Godzilla 2. I thought this would be perfect timing. I always thought like I thought in my mind different ideas for Godzilla movies. I mean, we've seen Godzilla versus all of his iconic foes and everything like that, but there's been, with the latest breaks in technology, breakthroughs in technology and everything, I thought, what would be, and all the other iconic monsters out there that are not Godzilla related, I always wondered what would be some truly great Godzilla movies that would ever grace the screen. And I came up with a list of the top 10 Godzilla movies that I personally would love to see be made. And number 10 on that, start off things, number 10 on that list is a remake of the big, probably one of the most well-known Godzilla movies ever made, Destroy All Monsters. This is the first and probably only Godzilla movie from the Showa era to feature every monster, just about every monster in the Godzilla universe, in the Godzilla pantheon of Godzilla movies, even Toho. I'm going to say all the Toho monsters except for a couple that were in this one picture. And with all the advances in technology that have been made, I would love to see them in the future possibly do a CG remake of this movie. A very big, action-packed, serious remake of this movie. I would love to see it. I think it would just, the movie's great anyway. You got monsters all over the world attacking everything. About the closest I saw a remake of that is Godzilla Final Wars. And even Godzilla, the animated series from the 90s, even though their Godzilla was not technically Godzilla, though it came closer than what the Matthew Broderick movie was, which is what it's based on. They had an homage to Destroy All Monsters, where all the monsters from their series were turned loose on the world by a group of conquering aliens. And it was great. That was a great episode. Godzilla Final Wars was pretty good, except for the campiness in it. I would love, and as I said, Destroy All Monsters was great, and nothing beats the original, what it was based on. And I would love to see a genuine remake that did the original one justice, but made it more serious and less jokey. I would love to see it. And number 9 on my list is a remake. I would love to see a remake done of Godzilla Raids Again. That's one of those movies that only hardcore Godzilla fans have ever known that there was a Godzilla movie made after the original Gojira in 1954. Only hardcore fans know that in 1955 they came out with a sequel, a rushed sequel called Godzilla Raids Again, in which, as per Dr. Yamani's fears in Gojira, that there was and just to let you know, spoiler alert, in the previous movie that there may be another Godzilla may rise again. He does. It's exactly what happens, but only this time he's got another monster hot on his heels, and Anguirus. And despite the limited special effects, it was a great movie. Despite the rush special effects, and despite the fact some look a little hokey and like that, like it still did a good job on it. And I would love to see this possibly made into a future, possibly American Godzilla movie, like they managed to fit something similar to this in it. I mean, as you know, Godzilla ain't dead. He easily bring Anguirus in there somewhere, and I would honestly love to see that. And imagine the special effects they could do nowadays. I mean, it would just be epic. I think it would be great, and that's why I included on this list. I like Godzilla Raids Again. I would love to see it done its proper modern day justice. And number 8 on this list is one that I've heard a lot of folks say they would love to see, and I don't know if it's going to happen because they're both owned by 2 different companies, but I would love to see it anyway. I would love to see a movie in which Godzilla goes up against the creature from Cloverfield. I mean, that monster from Cloverfield is still a mystery. Even after the movie's been out now for like 6 years. I can't believe it's 6 years old already, but the movie's been out for like 6 years, and still you don't know nothing about this creature, and they still haven't made a sequel yet. But I would love to see it, and sometime in the future, I'd love to see if they could do it. Actually have Godzilla and this creature, a more adult form of this creature, actually go toe to toe against each other and see who is the strongest. I would love to see this. Of course, if you compare it to the size of this new Godzilla, I don't think it's much of a contest. But I would love to see this made into a movie. It would be great. I would love to see it. And a lot of other folks would love to see it too. I mean, it really would. And number 7 on my list is a remake of a 90s Heisei era classic, Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. I mean, pretty much nothing could beat it. I mean, pretty much that was one of the best Godzilla movies of the Heisei era of Godzilla movies. I mean, it'd be great anyway. It would be great to see that. Actual shot-for-shot remake of that done in CG. It would be so awesome to see that done. And to tell you the truth, with this, they're teasing that Ghidorah may be in Godzilla 2. It may have. This may be one of the ones on the list that may actually happen. And I would just love to see that happen. I really would love to see it happen. And it would just be, I mean, that movie was so awesome. I love for them to just do that in modern technology. I would love to see that. And it would be just the greatest, one of the greatest Godzilla movies ever made, I think. And number 6 is also one I've heard about that it may be, folks are hoping for a possibility to be made into an American version. Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. A remake of that or a new version of that. I would really love to see that. I personally don't know how they would do it, seeing as how Godzilla in this new movie is being portrayed as mankind's protector, not its greatest threat. Though it could be at any time. So if it deemed mankind a threat, they would probably, at any time he could become a threat, and they would have to build a Mechagodzilla to go against him. But he ain't really a threat. He ain't really trying to hurt anybody. He's just trying to destroy the threat to humanity. He's trying to destroy it. He's almost like trying to protect mankind. But if he ever to become a threat, and in the future, if they ever try to deem him a threat, they could make a Mecha G movie, and that would be great. That would be great to do. It would be, and the way they could probably wind the storyline around it and animate and everything, it'd be awesome to see. I would love to see it. I mean, that would be great, especially if they did it in kind of the way they did the Heisei era, Mechagodzilla, or even the Millennium era. I mean, that would be great to see. And number 5 on my list is is a remake of one of my favorites. Matter of fact, the one I'm wearing a shirt for right now. Pardon my tongue. I'm getting tired. Godzilla versus Space Godzilla. I mean, this is one of my favorites, despite a few things in the plot I didn't like, and the music won't epic enough. I would love to see it done properly in modern technology. I would love to see a CG Space Godzilla basically taking over the entire, enveloping the whole city in crystal, and Godzilla have to stop it. I would love to see. I mean, this Godzilla design is already impressive enough. You imagine it pumped up more with crystalline stuff sticking out of it, like out of his shoulders, out of his tail, his fins on his back look crystalline like. I would love to see that. That would be great. I would love to see that. I mean, it was great in the Heisei era, but in the modern day, if they did it with CG, epic, man, epic. I'd love to see it. And number 4 is another movie that may be coming closer to being to be made by Legendary Pictures, just like Godzilla versus King Ghidorah. Godzilla versus Rodan. I mean, there has never been a definitive movie where it was called Godzilla versus Rodan. I didn't know that until I started hunting down all the Godzilla movies. But I would love to see it made where it's just them two butt heads. I would love to see it. I mean, they fought in different movies, but they've always shared a movie with another monster. And somehow they wind up allies sometimes. But I would just love to see it with just these two big gigantic dinosaurian creatures just colliding, and it's just from one movie. Not just one movie, just at least maybe 2, and one and a half till they do unite against a bigger threat. But I would love to see it. I mean, and it looks like the way they teased Godzilla 2, it may happen. It may happen. And I would love to see it. I think it'd be very exciting, very action-packed. I think it would look great. I mean, you saw how this one looked. I mean, the way they had Muto looking in this movie, the male one, he almost resembled Rodan in a lot of ways. So, you never know. You never know. And number 3 on this list, number 3 is one that I heard them they were going to try remaking the they were actually going to try remaking the Heisei era, but it didn't pan out because of conflicts from Universal's of copyright laws. Excuse me, and copyrights over the character. That they didn't actually get to make it, and that was King Kong versus Godzilla, or Godzilla versus King Kong, whichever way you want however way you want to say it is. And personally, I would love the way they did King Kong and the Peter Jackson version and the way they've done Godzilla now. I would love, now more than ever, to see a King Kong versus Godzilla remake and have it be taken seriously. I mean, that's the one reason why I just despise King Kong versus Godzilla, the original, because it's too silly. It's a joke. It's a comedy. I've heard folks call that movie a comedy. And it is. The fighting is a joke. The whole thing's a joke. And it's silly. It's stupid. I just didn't like that movie. And I would love to see it done its proper justice and be a straight out fight, brawl, knockdown, drag out monster movie. I would love to see it done justice. And there's a lot of other folks out there that would love to see it too. I know it. And I said I would just love to see it done its proper justice. And number 2 is one that was once again proposed as going to be an actual Heisei Godzilla movie that they actually rejected, and that was Godzilla, and that's Godzilla versus Godzilla. And yeah, Toho actually had optioned that for a movie at one time. And the only reason that they turned it down was because before that, the other two movies before that were Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2 and Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla. And their actual reason was that we've already had the past two movies feature Godzilla-like creatures. We don't want to do a third. They said it wouldn't be right if we did a third one. And really, the premise of the movie was supposed to be like the ghost of the original Godzilla from 1954 returns to life and kills the Heisei Godzilla. And she kills the Heisei Godzilla, and Junior, I think, has to destroy him. Or he comes back. I can't remember what happened, but it was supposed to be Godzilla 54 versus Godzilla versus Heisei Godzilla. The original versus the Heisei era Godzilla. And to me, that would have been epic. And now I would love to see, I don't know if you could do it as like a multiversal crossover or something like that, or have it where two of his species actually exist and have them just collide. Almost like territory type thing. One wants to kill everything, one wants to protect. I mean, just I would love to see two Godzillas go at it. I've never seen it on film before. I would love to see it. I would love to see them collide like that. I mean, about the closest you've ever seen is the '98 Godzilla getting thrashed by the Final Wars Godzilla, by the Japanese Godzilla in about 16 seconds. That's about the closest you've ever seen. But I would love to see two real deal Godzillas go at it on screen. I would love to go at it tooth and nail on screen. I would love to see it. Claw for claw, tooth for tooth, breath for breath. I would love punch for punch. I would love to see it. I would love to see that movie be made. And I hope it does get made eventually. And finally, number one on my list is one that that my wife really likes the idea of because it's got one of her favorite characters in it. Godzilla vs. Cthulhu. And for those of y'all who don't know who Cthulhu is, I don't know if you ever heard of the story Call of Cthulhu. Cthulhu is supposed to be like an elder god from the depths of the ocean, from a mythical lost city of Ralia that was lost in another dimension. He's supposed to be what they call one of the old ones, and to me it fits perfectly hand in hand with Godzilla. I mean, when he rises from the sea, it's supposed to be 3,000 years of darkness. I would love to see Godzilla put him down. I would love to see it. I would love to see Godzilla go toe to toe with Cthulhu, because they're both titans anyway. I mean, they're both. I mean, there's one. I mean, Godzilla's already worshipped as a god by island people anyway, and then you have Cthulhu, who they claim like is a god too. I would love to see it. I would love to see them two go at it. I would love to see those two monsters just battle it out for supremacy. I would love to see that. It would be a great movie, and it'd be a great comic too. I'd love to see a comic adaptation of that personally. I think it would just be great. It'd be a great movie. It'd be great anyway. It'd be the first time somebody ever actually put Cthulhu on film. Everybody put Cthulhu in a movie. I mean, to me, what better movie to put in than Godzilla? What better movie? I said I would love to see it, and I said those are just 10 Godzilla movies that I would love to see put into film. I just love to see them get made. I really would. What do y'all think? Am I missing one? Is there one? Do y'all agree with this list? Is there one that y'all would love to see remade into? Or is there a Godzilla movie that y'all would love to get made? Let me know. As always, drop me a comment in the comment box. I would love to know what y'all have to say. I'd love to know what y'all think. And I guess that's all for this week's edition of Mr. J's Geek Corner. Hope y'all enjoyed the 60th episode. Plenty more to go. As always, you have any comments about the show whatsoever, drop me a comment in the comment box. Like, subscribe, tell all your friends. Y'all have any ideas about shows y'all love to see made? drop me a comment in the comment box. I'm always looking for fresh new topics and things to talk about on the show, so drop me a comment. You don't never know when it may be made into an episode of Mr. J's Geek Corner. Drop me a comment. I would love to hear from y'all and hear your ideas. And I'll see y'all next time.